morning. Please tell me it's still morning. I left and I have to go get chicken feed, which is at the chicken feed store, which I usually take the back way. And that was really nice of him to slow down. I usually take the back way, and I thought, I've never had you on a live the back way. And this is a lot of dirt road until we get to the pavement. So I've had an interesting couple of days. And I don't know if you saw my post on Facebook about my doctor appointment on Tuesday. But Tuesday was a very bad day for me. I'm just continuing. Things are happening to me, and I'm telling you, God is testing me. Things are happening to me. Oh, real quick, this is where we let Rocky the raccoon go. And I told him when I come by, I would throw him a chicken from Walmart. But I forgot that I was going to get chicken feed today. Anyway, so Tuesday was a really bad day, and I'm just losing all faith in humanity, and it's really sad. So if you didn't read my post, I had a really bad day. I was 3 minutes late for my doctor appointment. And mind you, when I scheduled my doctor appointment, they ask you what this is for. Like a yearly physical, a medical, or a medicine check, or whatever. And one of the boxes is depression. And I checked depression because the main reason why I was going is because I wanted her to put me on a different depression medicine. I have been on citalopram since 2002 when my ex-husband left me for another woman in New York. And obviously it works. I didn't realize it was still working after 22 years, but I had gone off all my medicine 2 weeks ago because I wanted to start over, because I'm just so disgusted with not being able to breathe. And everybody's gonna say, oh, because you're smoking. Well, I'll tell you what, when the goat pulled me down and I fractured my rib 2 months ago, I went to Castle Rock Adventist. Now, it's not that much lower than 7,000 feet. I don't even think maybe it is. Maybe they're not even in 6,000 feet. Maybe they're 5 something. But when I was in the emergency room, my oxygen was 97. And then I come up here, and my oxygen is 84. So anyway, I didn't know, and I've also been on Chantix, which is trying to help me quit smoking, and it works if you remember to take it. And my life has been so overwhelmed since I started building that classroom. And for the last month, I would look at the clock, and it'd be 4 o'clock, and I'd say, shit, I forgot to, oops, sorry, family friendly. I would say, cow pies, I forgot to take my medicine. So finally, I just stopped it for 2 weeks. And I wanted to start over. I wanted to start with my multivitamin, and then add my citalopram, and then add my Anoro in the morning. That's supposed to help me breathe. And then add my whatever starts with an M, because I think I'm allergic to cats. But no, I'm not getting rid of my cats. So anyway, I was just having a really bad day. So when I finally, right before I left to go to the doctor, I had dropped Colette off, and I was backing out of her driveway, and there was water spewing all over her front yard. And it's coming from the sprinkler main thing, which reminded me right then I forgot to blow out the sprinklers because this storm happened so fast. I was not prepared. So I knew if I stopped, I'd be late for my appointment. So I'm driving really slow down the street, and I had Google call my Colette's neighbor to see if she could run over and shut the water off until I got back, and she wasn't answering. I come to find out later she was on an important phone call and couldn't answer. And I'm sorry, Katie, I called you like 3 times in a row. But then I thought, well, you know what? I pay for that. I set Colette up with American Water Resources. Look at the pretty horses. Look how beautiful they are. I hope no one's behind me. No, no one's behind me. Aren't they beautiful? Especially in the snow. Okay, so anyway, I'm going down Hampton, which is like 55, 60 miles an hour. Oh, there's a little mini in there too. So I tell Google, call American Water Resources, and I have to be careful with this because when I say it, my phone actually does it. So this guy answers, and he had the thickest Mexican accent. It was just as bad as the people from India. I could not understand what he was saying. I'm trying to drive. When he answered, excuse me, I immediately said the situation. I'm on my way to a doctor appointment. Colette has water spewing all over the front of the yard. I need somebody to go shut the water off. And what is the name? I took a deep breath and I said, Colette Scott. And what is the address? Mind you, whenever I set anything up for Colette now, I use my phone number. So when I called, that pulled up on his computer. But unfortunately, he has to verify everything. So while he's trying to verify the information, there is another like 20 gallons of water in the front yard. So then he asked me who I was. And I told him. He says, and what is your relationship to Colette? I said, I'm her guardian. I have her power of attorney, and I'm the executor to her will. And I said it just like that because I was just getting fed up. If he didn't turn around and say to me, what's a guardian? I had to get angry. And I said, I need to speak to someone who speaks English and knows what the word guardian means. And I knew right then, his response was so polite, he was reading from a script. And that irritates me to no end. I don't have time for your script. Talk to me like a human being. I'm so tired of these AI computers. I'm just so old. My God, I promised myself I would never be my father, and I am so my father. This world is just, you know. So anyway, after that whole thing, I ended up hanging up on this guy, and I was in tears. I was driving, I was in tears, I was a blubbering idiot. I turned on the street to go to my doctor. I turn on the other street, and there's nothing but construction in front of her parking lot where I had to turn in. More tears start coming. I went around the block. I totally missed the alley that I was supposed to turn into. Went around the block again. Now, mind you, when I pulled up to the construction, it was 1:23. My appointment was at 1:20. By the time I got back to the parking lot and I parked, it was 1:29. I go running in. I'm crying to the point where, you know how you cry so hard, you're like gasping for air? That's how I was crying. The woman looks at me and said, your name? And I through the blubbering tears, I told her my name. And she looks at me and she says, you're 10 minutes late. Hold on. She walks in the back and then comes back out and says to me, you're going to have to reschedule. Oh my God. I was at a loss for words. Obviously, she didn't even see that I did a depression appointment. If they're not going to look at it, why do they even ask you? I was so at a loss for words. I just put my hand up and I walked out. So then I'm wondering, I'm going to give my doctor the benefit of the doubt that that woman did not walk back there and ask my doctor personally if I should reschedule. But the other thing that irritates me is she didn't even bother to ask me if I was okay. It was all about office policy. So I ended up that night writing my doctor an email through the portal, and I told her what happened. And she emailed me back last night, and if she didn't do the same thing, talk about office policy. I'm sorry, but in the Hippocratic Oath, there is nothing about office policy. And if you are so worried that you are going to leave the office 10 or 15 minutes late, you need to find a different career, because that is not why you become a doctor. Anyway, this morning I tried to find a new doctor. No luck. The closest one in Castle Rock is booked through the end of January. So I wrote my doctor another email this morning, and I told her after 19 years, I'm just very disappointed that I was not even asked if I was okay, and I'm very disappointed that office politics comes before the Hippocratic Oath. And oops, there's a semi that kind of got stuck. How did that happen? So anyway, she said that she would call me, and I told her in the email everything I was concerned about. So she's going to call me tonight. But this world is just... I was talking to a friend yesterday, and she agreed with me. We grew up. We had to respect our elders. We had to show respect. And now that it's our turn, we don't get it. There is just no respect. There's no common sense. I mean, my first question out of my mouth, if somebody walked up in front of me and it was a blubbering idiot, I would say, "Are you okay?" Isn't that the first thing that comes, or am I the only human left in this world? I mean, for crying out loud. Anyway, so on a happier note, parts came from my toilet, and my toilet is fixed, and I turned on the water, and nothing is leaking, so I'm very proud of myself. I could not use the actual little clampy things that you screw with a screwdriver. I had to use the shark bites, which are awesome. So if you ever have to use a clamp for a water line, use the shark bites, because the guy at True Value gave me the little clampy one, which I knew wasn't right. I walked in there for one fitting, a shutoff valve, a ½ inch on each side, and he gives me a compression thing and another hose and a little clamp, and that's why I hate going to Home Depot. My father taught me things, you know. I watched and learned, and when you see in your mind what you need and you know it's going to work, then somebody at Home Depot, especially because I'm a 5'2" woman, I think, these guys look at you and say, "Well, what do you need it for?" Okay, please don't ask me that. I know what I need, and I'm not going to tell you what I need it for, because you're going to tell me I'm wrong, and I'm not wrong. Thank you for letting me vent. I will be back on my medicine soon, I promise. But I'm serious about the Home Depot guys. I wouldn't say it if it didn't happen before. And when the guy says, "Oh no, you need this and this and this," and I trusted him, and I went home, and that is exactly not what I needed. So I'm not talking just out of anger and putting men down. I'm I'm just saying, it has happened to me. I know what I need. I see it in my mind. I go in to get it. I can't find it. I ask where it is, and the first thing out of their mouth is, what do you need it for? It doesn't matter what I need it for. I need it. So show me where it is. Thank you. So how are you all today? I cannot see who's on because I'm driving. But that's okay. I just wanted to show you the pretty back way, which is all country. Horses and cows. I'll be quiet for a minute so you can enjoy it. And the red country barns, do you see over on the left? Isn't that an awesome barn with a silo next to it? I'm telling you folks, technology is, technology is great, but there is nothing wrong with the old-fashioned methods. And how many of you have experienced, if you tried to do I've had this happen on GoDaddy when I was trying to transfer my server and I was having issues. By the way, Friday, November 22nd is our Black Friday. So make sure you go to let me try that again. heartlandranchco.com on the 22nd. Our new shop will be up. Amazon is also a lot of our things in the shop, because I made a shop, everything equine, so that you could just go to the shop. If you had to buy a present for a horse lover, everything's right there for you. And a lot of them are connected to Amazon, and Amazon is also having a big sale. I don't know if it's up to 60% off, but our boot charms and our clinics and our classes, they will be up to 60% off on Friday, November 22nd. And please like our page on Facebook and share it. I want to get to 10,000 followers by December 31st, because Facebook has all these goals, I guess, you have to do in order to do certain things. And I can't do certain things until I get to 10,000 followers. And I realized this morning, my friend Sue helped me out and sent me a picture. I was going to take a screenshot of what my Facebook page looks like to you. So I logged in as Colette last night and went to my page, and it says 5.3 thousand followers, and then it says 0 following. That makes me look so selfish. Like, I want everybody to follow me, but I'm not going to follow anybody else. But I do. I follow 1.9 thousand people. And that's what shows on my page. So on my Facebook page, I did the comparison, and then Sue sent me a screenshot of what she sees, and it says 0 following. That is just so wrong. So I do follow 1.9 thousand different people, and we are here right now to get the chicken feed. Isn't this like the cutest thing ever? This is 40 Mile Feed in Kiowa, and this is where I get my chickens and my chicken feed. So I'm gonna go in and do that. Thank you for letting me vent a little. I promise I'll be back on my medicine soon. You guys have a great day, and I hope something wonderful happens to you today. Till next time.